Hi, this is Carrie, and this is not your average sales video because I'm just not your average sales girl. In fact, I'm not a sales girl at all. And I'm not going to try and be a sales girl because that's not what I'm good at. What I'm good at is being me. And sometimes being me means that I also have to expand on what I think I am and who I think I am in order to be more than what I perceive sometimes. I have to leap beyond my own boundaries. And that's one of the things I've done even in the execution of this launch of this course. You see, I've been doing this kind of training for years, one-on-one or with groups of people, with corporate teams in transnational, international companies. But it's different when I'm talking and explaining and communicating value to a client one-on-one or in a group setting, rather than just this mass way of doing things. And it's quite new for me. And it has not been easy, but it has been purposeful. In the process, I've made some mistakes. You probably have seen some of them. And I'm not apologizing for my own mistakes. I'm accepting the fact that, hey, you know what happened? Things just did not go as well as I wanted them to. But I'm okay with that. And here's why I'm okay with that. Because I come from a broadcast production background. And perfection, as I know, is a team sport. There's so many people who are coming together to make a production happen that it's unbelievable. You see one person in front of the camera, but it's like a million people behind to execute every step of the way. And things can go wrong, as we say. And whatever can go wrong usually does go wrong, and things go wrong. And when you don't have teams to mitigate against all those things that can go wrong, then the scariness of doing it alone and doing it scared, doing it, when you're still not there where you need to be, actually puts people off sometimes from making leaps and taking transitions. And perhaps by the way how God works it, that He's just made this whole experience be so open and so vulnerable that, hey, I'm here to show you that you don't have to be perfect in order to do something and to show up in a way that makes you scared, nervous, that pushes you out of your usual way of doing things. Because in order to grow, we have to take little steps. And even a baby doesn't learn to walk just the first time. It doesn't happen. You get up, you fall, you get up, you fall, you get up, you fall. But what happens is that in the process of repeatedly doing and of becoming resilient, then you realize that baby gets a little bit more sure-footed, and eventually the walk becomes steadier and then starts to glide, and then whoosh, he is out of here. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk together. We're going to do this thing together. And if you're fearful, don't worry about it, because you don't have to be there before you actually do, because that's what keeps a lot of us stuck. We want to make certain that X, Y, and Z lines, everything has to line up like in a row before we do things. And so what happens, and that happens to me a lot, and something I've worked on, is when you have your bar to entry so high, then what happens is that it's really hard to enter, because you've put so many conditions that it's hard to actually meet those conditions. When we start to lower our conditions for entry, in other words, we lower our notions of perfection. Or in fact, we just throw perfection outside and say, what happened? Perfection is overrated. What's more important to me is that I tried, that I did my best, and if I fail, it's only feedback. There is no failure. There's only feedback. So have I learned things that I could do better for the next time? Absolutely, positively, assuredly. For sure. But had I not done that, then I would still have been right there waiting for the right time. And 10 years later, I would be waiting for the right time. The right time is now. The right time is absolutely now. when you're afraid, when you have no idea what's going to come of it. Because when it is that you lower that entry and you realize that I'm just going to just do it, I'm going to give myself grace. I'm going to give myself grace to show up, grace to be horrible at it, to look messy in the process, doing it messy. It's not a finesse job right now. I don't have this magnificent team as much as I would like to, and one day soon I'm sure I will. But it takes a leader. It takes a leader to lead. If you don't lead, who will you have to lead then? Followers can't be leaders. So you lead from your leap. And trust me, all the things that were meant to be yours, the provision that you need in order to execute the vision that has been given to you, will be provided. Take your leap. Let's do it together. Let's leap together. Let's end 2021. Let's end this year. Let's end this year knowing that we've set ourselves up for next year. Let's end this season knowing that we're ready for the next. The harvest is coming, but we've got to be prepared. Let's leap together. I'll see you in class. Enroll now.